I've been thinking a lot lately about utilizing what you have, what you already have, and starting small. I guess that applies to many, countless areas of life. But what I'm thinking about right now is growing things, gardening. It's so easy, I guess, to think that you need a lot to start. Like you need a big area, a big flat area, tilled. Maybe you need to buy raised beds, soil, fertilizers, seeds, you name it. But sometimes you don't need any of that. Around here we have lots of raspberries. And whether they are originally cultivated or not, I actually don't know. I call them semi-wild or wild-ish. It doesn't matter. They grow. They have tended for themselves for decades. I guess my point is what I just said. Like, start small. Start with what you have. I happen to have lots of raspberry plants. If I do nothing, and that is one possible strategy, I can just show up in August, sometime in August, and start finding berries, wading through a lot of raspberry plants and other plants, fireweeds and other things, and find some berries. I've done that too. That can work. I can get some liters of berries in my freezer that way. What I've tried to do this year is putting in a little bit of effort to see if that can, if it can increase the yield. That's one thing. But I guess the most important thing is to make harvesting the raspberries a more pleasant experience. Wading through the raspberries, that's, I guess, enough wading as it is. If I don't have to wade through a lot of fireweeds and other weeds, which we have a lot of. It's easy still to get lost in ideas of ideal. I had this idea that I should start to pick other types of vegetation and lay around the raspberry bushes. I didn't get to that. But that is also a point that things might look perfect on paper. You might have this perfect idea. It doesn't matter if you don't get to that perfect idea. So I didn't get to the weeding before the first year raspberry plants started to sprout, and I had to be careful trying to not pick too many of those while I'm weeding. The second year plants, they are so woody, they're hard to pick, so I grab a bit of vegetation and I will feel it if there is second year raspberries in it. When I started to weed, put the weeds back around the raspberry plants, later in summer the weeds grow up again, and I find myself weeding a second time. That's okay. Maybe in an ideal world I could have covered the ground enough so that the weeds didn't grow or didn't have any substantial growth. But that's okay. Now the berries have started to ripen. Most of them are not yet, but a few, we have picked a few. And I still weed around the plants. That's how it is this year. It's just the way it goes. One of the pros of giving the plants a little bit of attention, weeding a bit, not perfectly, but just hanging around the plants from May until August, which is now. It will be May, June, July, August, September. It will probably be 5 months that I hang around the raspberry bushes every now and then. One of the pros of doing it that way, instead of just showing up in August, starting looking for berries in a overgrown brush, is that I found myself lately browsing around, checking out, oh, are the berries going to ripen soon? So instead of finding the berries when they maybe have been ripe for a while, many of them are gone. Many of them have gone bad. Now that I've hung around, weeded a bit, I pay a bit of attention to the bushes for months. Now I notice, oh, they are flowering. The bumblebees were very busy at one point, late June, early July, buzzing with bumblebees. Very nice. And then later on I noticed, oh, it's starting to look like berries. The berries are starting to form. And then I see, oh, they're starting to be pink berries. Little like pink, like coloring on a little bit of the berry. And a few days ago, I noticed, oh, the first ripe berry. So we picked a few. Then we were away for a few days, and all of a sudden there were lots of berries. And I keep noticing, oh, these are nearly ripe. These are far from ripe. And I just catch myself wondering, what's it like to be a professional grower of raspberries? I'm imagining you'd have to watch the bushes quite closely, because as raspberries ripen so unevenly, I'm just I'm just picturing you would have to check the bushes daily or maybe twice daily, and go carefully through them and to try to get to as many berries as you can at the right time. Because I guess when they are ripe, what is it? A day or two, or it's not a long time, and then they're spoiled. One of my main points is take what you have. I happen to have raspberry bushes. Utilize them. I don't need to fertilize these bushes. I pick the weeds around them. There are so many weeds around them. I just pick the weeds, lay the weeds back around the bushes, suppresses the weeds a bit, and it fertilizes the plants. And time will show if I get more berries out of it than I would have if I didn't do anything with the plants. What's for sure is the plants are here anyway. So, what's your low-level homesteading, gardening? What's your entrance to get going? Is there something you can simplify? Is there something you can consider utilizing just as it is, or with just minor tweaks, without buying lot of soil and raised beds and fertilizer and whatnot? Tell me about it in the comments, and I'll see you again in another video.